Hello and welcome on my channel Wolf-Aqua, and also welcome to the second episode for Garden for Self-Sufficiency. And in this episode I'm gonna show you how we established a brand new veggie bed just right on the green grass, and let's go. So here we are now on our second veggie bed. So this veggie bed we started out this year just on the plain grassland. And we used a method that's called no-dig, also very much known by Charles Doding. And what we did here is, first we actually outlined our veggie beds. So we got us clear where do we want to set up our veggie beds. One veggie bed here is like 2 by 10 meters, so around about 20 square meter of productive area. And how we established that, so after we outlined our grow bed, our growing area, we put cardboard on the ground to suppress the weeds, and on top of the cardboard we put like a 10 centimeter layer of compost, or 4 inches of compost, and then we planted actually our babies, our seedlings, directly into the compost. And now we have an airplane right above us, and that's very sound. See. Anyway, so here we are back again in the garden, second veggie bed of our garden here. So how we started, so we first put cardboard on the ground, and then on top of the cardboard we put like a layer of like 10 to 20 centimeters of compost or garden soil or gardening soil, whatever we just had available here. And then we planted actually on this first top layer our pre-grown seedlings. So, by the way, what are we growing actually here? So we are growing here, let's start at the beginning. So actually here we grow our potatoes called Selena, or the strain Selena. We already harvested them. The only thing that happened here is we had like some freezing nights, and then one night we were not fast enough to put the cover over it, or we forgot it. And the potatoes got quite some freezing damage, or some freeze damage I guess, and they're not really recovered from it, and that's why our harvest was rather low. So from 2 kilograms of seed potatoes here we got only 8 kilograms of harvestable potatoes. Anyway, too bad. So what we have here is a square of just tomatoes, of Romanian tomatoes. So like in 2009 I got invited for a school exchange program to Turkey, and there I met a lady from Romania. And years later I visited her, like I think in 2013, and then we went to her family to like a rural area outside the big cities, and there her parents gave me some tomato seeds. And these tomato seeds, I just had them for years and years and years in my shelf, not using them. And this year I tried them out, and well, I tried them out already last year, and then I figured out they do not like if you break out the suckers. So this is definitively more like a bush tomato that is also determined in height growth or length growth. So anyway, so we started quite some of those seeds because I was not sure how good the seed quality still is after so many years. And look at that. So we had actually quite some very nice tomato seedlings, and we planted them all together like here in a batch, and they developed very nice. They have now they're getting now very nice fruits. So we have here also currently like at the beginning of August. So the season is almost over here in Western Europe. And what else? So we have here our square with squashes. We're here growing mainly zucchinis. So we have yellow zucchinis, we have round zucchinis, and just the very normal classic green zucchinis. And one thing we learned is that we definitely need not more than 3 or 4 plants max zucchinis to actually completely fulfill our demand, because they are very nice producing a lot of zucchinis. Anyway, so what else do we have? Here we have our bean corner. So we have all kind of faba beans, we have kidney beans, we have peas, and we have sugar peas. Unfortunately, some of the sugar peas have mildew on the leaves. It doesn't look very well at the moment. And of course we have grown corn here. And that corn, so actually what you see here are several different strains of corn. So we have sugar corn, that's the one in the front that is flowering already, that has the first few corn cups showing up. And then we have like here a corn from Mexico, so a meloto. And we have, furthermore, we have blue corn and popcorn corn. And so far only the sugar corn is flowering and showing the first fruits, and we are curious how far these plants get within this season. So what else? So here in this square we have our brassicas. So we have here different variations of kale, we have cauliflower, we have a kohlrabi. We have this called things here flower sprouts. So they are related to Brussels sprouts. Actually it's a breed between Brussels sprouts and kale, as far as I remember correctly. And instead of getting like Brussels sprouts, as you know, they get like this green balls, and these things get something similar, but not like a green ball. They get like a kind of a flower, and looks very pretty, and it should taste very well. I don't know, it's the first time we try it out. Let's see how it goes. So what else do we have here in our garden? So here we have still some bush beans. They were already producing quite well this year. And in the back you see our sunflowers. The sunflowers are really a magnet for bumblebees and bees in general, all kinds of insects. And also the birds already love it a lot because they start to pick out the seeds. They're almost done and they develop very well. So at the beginning, when we just planted them, they were very weak and they were quite lanky and stretched already from the pre-growing. But in the end they developed very nice, and we were quite happy with them. And now here on our last square we have our pumpkins. So we have here two different types of pumpkins. We have here a Hokkaido and the butternut pumpkins, and you already can start seeing the first orange or kind of butternut pumpkins here coming up. What we noticed here is pumpkins, they really like warm temperatures. So we planted them out quite early, so mid-May, when the nights were still very cold, and you really could see they not really like it. So they really liked when now in June or July the temperatures increased, that they really start to flourish and to really produce a lot of leaves and the first flowers, and now you see also the fruits. So pumpkins definitely like warm temperatures. All right, what else? So what are our next steps? So this year actually the veggie bed developed very nice, though we learned already quite a lot of things that we can do better next year. So what we want to do next year is we want to actually double the size of our growing area. So we want to make 2 more stripes down the hill, and we want to also install a drip irrigation to have an easier time of irrigating all of our veggie beds, because at the moment we're doing it by hand and we're using kind of a sprayer, and the sprayer also brings a lot of water into the air and into our plants, and we want to increase our water use efficiency by using a drip irrigation system here. Furthermore, we're going to prepare these veggie beds here like in mid-October, end of October, for the winter time, for like 3 months. So like November, December and January we do not grow anything here, at least not this year. And what we're going to do is we add another layer, like 2 centimeters of compost here on top of our veggie beds, and then we will cover it with kind of a black so-called needle foil. So it's like a black plastic liner kind of thing, very thin, with a lot of tiny holes in, and actually that it prevents light, the majority of light penetrating on the ground. But still, if it rains, the humidity in the water can shrink through this plastic layer and get to the ground. So we're not losing humidity here. And the reason why we're going to do that, because if you keep plants out of the light for like at least 3 months, they usually all die off. No matter if it's a very hard weed or if it's like just a grass or any kind of your crops, after 3 months without light, they actually die off. And by doing so, we really hope that we can reduce a lot the pressure of weeds in our veggie beds here in the next season. And yeah, that's what we want to do here, and that's how we want to proceed within this season. And I really hope you like this video, and we will be very happy to if you leave us a subscription and like for this video. And if you have any questions, just post it in the comment section below. I wish you happy gardening and big yields in your garden and strong and healthy plants. Your Paul from Wolf-Aqua. Bye bye.